Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Purple Breakdown, a podcast covering the Baltimore Ravens. I am your host, Alex, and I'm so excited to be back here on another episode of the Purple Breakdown with you. I hope everyone is having a great middle of the week on a Wednesday and that the weekend's coming up soon here. And we got exciting news to jump into today, and I don't want to waste any time talking and waiting about it. It's time to just jump straight into it. The start of free agency has officially begun at this time, 19 minutes ago is when I'm recording this. It started at 4 p.m. today, and the Ravens have already made some moves since that time, as well as before the official start of free agency. So where I want to start, though, is the questions everyone's still asking, that the Max Crosby trade just didn't happen. And why? Well, some more news has come out in speculation that he did not pass his physical for the Ravens, is the speculation coming out of it, that the Raiders did not give over the full information, or neither did he, about his torn meniscus, and that it was not just a little fix-up, it was a total repair of the meniscus, or possibly further, and that there could be possibly more damage in his joints and arthritis, and they're not worried about his short term as much as it's his long term sort of availability as a player. That is the current news on what's coming out from the Ravens side. The Raiders are making no comment. Crosby has come out and said, hey, and so has his agent, hey, this isn't true. He'll be ready to play. He'll keep going. He may possibly work it out with the Raiders and continue to play there, and they could keep him, even though they just spent a lot of money, um, and spent money like Crosby wasn't going to be there because they were pretty sure he wasn't going to be there. But that's the news coming out from him. And Diana Rossini also came out and said, well, yesterday that the Ravens expected it said that reported he had failed his physical, but she's come out today and said, well, everyone sort of knows his timeline and what's supposed to be happening with him, so it goes towards the fall of the Ravens. I don't know if the Ravens just got cold feet here, or if they are really seeing something that his doctors and others just really didn't agree on, and that they really did see something there. Like, well, long term, I don't know how long he'll be there. That will remain to be seen. But the Ravens extremely quickly and pivoted away from that and from Max Crosby to making their largest move at edge rusher now this year since the Max Crosby trade has fallen through. They have apparently come to agreement and are signing Trey Hendrickson to a 4-year, $112 million contract with incentives that make it up to $120 million. So that is the contract that they're offering to him, and he has apparently accepted it. So Trey Hendrickson will be coming to the Ravens this next year to solve that issue of pass rush, or help solve it. It's not the same as Max Crosby. It won't ever be. He's definitely an older player. I mean, he'll be 32 by the end of this next year, and this contract will take him all the way out to, I believe, 36 years old. I'm hoping this is a heavier on the front side contract and has outs for the end, but it is a move that definitely helps come towards solving the pass rushing issue for the Ravens. Now, remember, he did not play that many games this past year. This past year in 2025, he played 7 games. He collected 4 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 5 assists, and a total of 11 solo tackles. So his stats were not as good, but I mean, he didn't get to play in 11 of the extra games. In the years prior, he's never been a massive total tackler in this entire season. I mean, his best season as a tackler was 2024, where he had 46, but he did get 17 and a half sacks. And when looking at it, his PFF grade really shows this. He's an overall 82.9, but his pass rush grade is 90. His run defense grade is a 56.8. He gets after the quarterback, and he will solve that issue of helping the Ravens get after the quarterback, putting pressure, putting hurry up on the quarterback, and he will get back there. He won't get as many tackles with the Ravens, and maybe having more pieces around him on the defense, unlike what he had on the Bengals defensive side, will help him to get more tackles and be a little better on the run defense. But it may help him also take a step forward in getting sacks, because I mean, he only played 7 games, but he got 4 sacks this past year, which is really good. It shows he's getting pressure back there. So It's a good move for the Ravens going forward. The other interesting theory I heard was possibly that the Ravens were trying to get both Trey Hendrickson and Max Crosby. That would have been insane if that had actually happened, but I don't think the Ravens ever had the money to actually make that work. But he is the bring-in for defensive end. So now the Ravens at edge have Trey Hendrickson, Mike Green, Adesic Isaac, and Tavius Robinson. And those are the 4 right now. I still believe they need to draft one. And as well as I believe they need to solve the issue of, yeah, we're getting after the quarterback, but you still need to have a solid run defense. And Trey Hendrickson and Mike Green are not that good at run defense. Mike Green, that was a big problem of him this past year. He was one of the worst when it came to run defense. And Trey Hendrickson is also below average when it comes to run defense. So it's something that needs to be address it, especially when the Ravens are drafting. I don't think they're going to pick up really any more edges this free agency as of right now. I think there's other problems that they're looking at and that they're addressing right now. But it is a problem that they need to address in the draft, which the Ravens now have that first round pick back in. We can go back and discussing that. My opinion still stands on Peter Woods, but we'll see if they decide to go another way. To fund this massive contract that Trey Hendrickson is bringing in, the Ravens have reportedly still not come to a contract extension with Lamar Jackson yet. So to make room to bring in people at free agency, they just restructured his contract. They restructured Lamar Jackson's contract and it is opening up $40 million in cap space for the Ravens right now. And this allows to fulfill that Trey Hendrickson contract and bring in others in free agency, especially since 9 of the Ravens free agents that were leaving the team have already left the team. So they're trying to fill everything right now and bring players back in. So they've restructured Lamar Jackson's contract. This is not a permanent solution. Lamar Jackson needs a long-term contract, and the long-term contract needs to be settled, even if it doesn't get done right away. I would like to see it still done this year and pushing it out. This $40 million makes it more similar to what Patrick Mahomes is on right now and some others. And it's going to help the Ravens this year, but it kicks the problem down to next year. And the cap space problem with Lamar will be even worse coming up. And it needs to get solved. That's period. It just needs to get solved. And I'd like to see a long-term contract done with him. But we will see how that pans out. So those are the 2 big. The Ravens are also making some other addresses right now. And we went into yesterday, I talked about what the Ravens really needed. They needed edge, which is now solved by Trey Hendrickson. They still need help at the interior offensive line. They brought in Josh Simpson for guard, but they need a center now, and nothing's come out on a center yet that the Ravens are bringing in yet. So nothing's out there. They need a tight end, and that has actually been addressed now, where the Ravens have apparently come to terms and are bringing in Durham Smith off the Bears. And he is supposed to be replacing the role of Charlie Kolar as a blocking tight end. I said this yesterday that the Ravens, when they're bringing in 2 tight ends, they're going to bring in one during free agency and one during draft. One of them has to be a blocking tight end. The other has to be a vertically stretching the field tight end. Here's the blocking tight end. So in the draft now, be looking for one that can vertically stretch the field and make catches down the field. And that will be the 3 the Ravens will go with. And this is a good system for Declan Doyle and the offense, because this is somebody he's familiar with from this past year that he's already worked with and on the Bears and is bringing in from the Bears. The other issue that I said that the Ravens needed to solve was safety, and back at the safety, because they let Alohi Gilman go to the Chiefs, and then Ardarius Washington went to the Giants. Well, the Ravens have now solved, or at least believe they have solved that issue. They are signing Jalen Hawkins from the Patriots to a 2-year, $10 million deal, which I actually was looking into this, and he was not on my radar, but I really like him. His past year grade, he had 48 solo tackles. He had 4 interceptions, 5 pressures, and he had 19 receptions allowed. His coverage grade was a 79 overall. His pass was a 74, and his run defense grade was an 87.1 for an overall grade of 82.4. So very, very solid year. And now he's had some years where he hasn't done as well. He was drafted in 2020 to Atlanta. His best year in Atlanta was 2022. And this past year, he had a really good year though with the Patriots. And I mean, he's played between Atlanta, the Chargers, and the Patriots now. He's a solid player, and he'll be a great third string um, safety, in my opinion. And now he's going to get a lot of play time because I firmly believe the Ravens will be playing a lot of triple safety sets because they're going to use Kyle Hamilton like a Swiss Army knife and put him down by the line and do blitzes with safeties. And so you still need two that can play high and play up in the back. And so that's where these two will come in. And with the right pieces around him, I think he could really be a good player that just is a solid, player, and that's all that the Ravens are asking for. They're not looking for somebody to step up and be the next best safety in the league, the next Kyle Hamilton, the next, whoever's back there that they want. They're asking for a solid player that can just perform, not mess up, execute, make the tackles, play solid coverage, and just that's what they're looking for. And this is a guy that can definitely do it. And it's a contract that honestly I love. 2 years, 10 million, 5 million a year. This is something that the Ravens could very well afford right now. And it's a great pickup to bring in. The other final news that the Ravens have done is that they're addressing cornerback. Marlon Humphrey is again staying. You have Nate Wiggins. Well, they are looking toward and TJ Tampa. Well, who else would you like to have at corner to keep? And they are deciding that fourth corner. They're bringing back Chidobe Awuzie on a 1-year, $5 million contract. I really like this. His past season stats were good. His run defense was a little lower at 60.3. His pass rush grade was a 64.6. His coverage grade, though, was a 76.1 for an overall of a 75.4. He had 38 solo tackles, 2 pressures, and he allowed 29 receptions. But I think he is a solid player that definitely made some good plays for the Ravens this past year, and is a good thing to just keep this core. I think it's a very solid core that the Ravens have at cornerback to help, but it needs execution. It needs help from the defensive line to create pressure and make it easier for the Ravens to defend in the secondary, as well as executing and playing as a solid team. And I think this next year, Marlon is going to take on a very different role for the Ravens. He's becoming an older cornerback that's slowing down, doesn't have the same juice as he does before. And so his role as what he's going to do as a cornerback is going to shift, and he's not going to have the same one as before. So we'll see what role he takes on going on this next year. But that is all the updates I have right now for the Ravens. It has been a auspicious start to free agency for the Ravens with just the Max Crosby trade and what happened with it. But the Ravens are making moves now. They made a lot of moves today. They are looking at building up the roster and trying to replace the holes that have filled. They still need to address center. I still believe that they need to address adding depth at wide receiver, and they could honestly add depth further at defensive tackle, and that should help fill up a lot of the holes that is there. But I would start with center first. Start with center right now. The Ravens need a center with Tyler Linderbaum going out. And this is where you look at Elgton Jenkins or Ethan Pokic off the Browns. And so those would be the two that I'd be looking at right now for the Ravens. And they may go Ethan just because it's a cheaper option and he's solid in both and a little better in the run grade. And so they may stray towards that because the Ravens operate a lot through the run. And again, just looking at that Lamar Jackson contract, it's a restructured contract now, opening up $40 million, which is what the Ravens need. It was expected to be done, but a long-term contract needs to be settled, and the Ravens need to keep talking to him, and they need to get this done. But that is all the news I have for today. If you are enjoying listening to this content, please consider subscribing, liking the video, sharing, and comment. Again, we do lots of comments. Oh, how could I have almost forgot the comment section of the day. Let's go in and let's look at those comments and let's do our shout outs. I almost forgot that, and that is bad on me. Let's go in and let's talk about let's talk about the comments that get out. Sorry, I'm pulling them up right now, but this is honestly actually one of my favorite things. We actually got a lot of comments yesterday, and between David and NTE, you guys did a lot, and I love it. NTE, you said a lot of players departing. Hopefully tomorrow when free agency opens up, we can snag us some guys. The Ravens have snagged some guys. They've done it. And we just went into who they brought in. I really hope that you like some of them. I like some of them. Jalen Hawkins, I really like that pickup. I think that is a solid pickup. And I was asking my former roommate who's from Boston, who is a massive Patriots fan, how he felt about him. He was like, he only had one really bad play against the Broncos that he didn't like, but for the most part, he was like, he's a solid player that is where he needs to be and plays good coverage. And I was like, this sounds solid. I like hearing this. This is what I want to hear coming from the team, and I really like it. So I hope you like the guys that are brought in today. If you don't, well, comment and tell me why you don't like them. All right. What else? This one got 9 comments. Oh yeah. Well, this was all the players leaving the Ravens. Well, even though Draymond Jones has departed and Max Crosby trade is down, we have Trey Hendrickson now. And I was actually really impressed by you two, NTE, you being from Texas, and David, you being from Hawaii. I'm actually really happy that the Ravens are represented so across the nation. I'm so glad you guys decided to join in and listen to my podcast, and I hope you guys are really enjoying it and can keep finding enjoyment coming out of it. I love hearing from you guys, so please keep commenting. It makes my day every time I hear from you guys, and hope the weather is good there, because up here in Ohio, it is just horrible right now with rain. But we're making some move towards replacing what the Ravens have lost. And the final one, let's go into these final set of comments. BCam, you said we need answers. I've seen players back out, but not teams. Answer is the Ravens either got cold feet in this and really didn't like giving up the first round picks, which, I mean, the Ravens treat like gold. And it's a definite 100% thing that they're looking at it. And I think when they were looking at it, I said it, and you gave the comment that I commented on yours, and you said, comment aged well. I mean, it did. I wanted to see the answers too. And I said, I wonder if the new health coordinator for the Ravens hired saw something and that made him worry, or if there was a blatantly bad health issue. I'm hoping that tomorrow an answer is put out so everyone can better understand why the organization backed out of this blockbuster trade. And answer is for the Ravens, it seems that, again, it's that thought of like, hey, something long term with his health is not there. That's the reason we're giving. And our new health coordinator may have seen that and been like, and I mean, he is a very experienced health coordinator and was with the New Zealand rugby team, national rugby team that went on, All Blacks, that went on to win 2 championships. And you just look at what he's done, and you got to trust his opinion and his words on that. And so either he saw something that he did not like and thought long term wouldn't work out, or the Ravens got cold feet and were just like, we don't want this. We want our first round picks. We want Trey Hendrickson. And I'm leaning a little more on the side towards he probably has something long term health that isn't looking as good. And I'm thinking this more just because of how he plays and how much he plays. And every year he gets some sort of injury now. And that's just going to keep piling up as he gets older. It's going to get harder and harder for him to recover too. But that is all the news I have for today. Sorry that came as last. That's normally first, but I hope you all enjoyed those comments. Again, if you want your comments featured, send some messages down in the chat. I love hearing from you guys. I'll keep them coming. I'll keep doing this segment. So that is all I have for today. Again, if you like the content, please consider subscribing, commenting, liking the video, sharing the video if you're on Spotify, which is having some problems right now because my Spotify doesn't like loading, but I will get it fixed up here soon. Comment as well, follow, leave a review. I love hearing from you all so much. I'll keep up to date as all the news comes out for the Ravens, and hopefully today we may see another signing or two, but we'll see that to come. I'll stay up to date with free agency as the Ravens keep moving throughout it, and hopefully we see that Lamar contract not just restructure, but an actual extension here soon. I want to thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day.